Hi, welcome to ECHL Week Presents. I'm Barry Schickling. The regular season is just about over. The playoffs are straight ahead. In today's edition, we talk with the Central Division coaches who have qualified for the postseason and hear their thoughts about what their teams are in store for when the Kelly Cup playoffs begin. The first of the ECHL's four divisions to have its first round playoff matchups set, these four teams know each other well. Division champ Cincinnati, despite being 30 points ahead of Fort Wayne in the standings, won just 5 of its 9 games versus the Comets this season. Cyclones head coach Jason Payne.
Whatever it is going to playoffs, you're going to have to face one of these teams or you're going to have to face 2 of these teams to get out of this division. So it doesn't matter which way you look at it, you've got to face them some way, somehow. And, you know, regular season we talk about, it's great to have the runs, it's great to have the success. But at the end of the day, getting to the playoffs is one big step, 100%. But if you don't take care of business after that, then it doesn't matter.
And Cincinnati's a great team. There's going to be no doubt about that. But at the same time, you have to have confidence that you have the ability to beat anybody. And I think throughout the season, depending at different times, we've shown that. And we got a 4-4-1 record against Cincinnati that hadn't lost a regulation game in 22. So for us, as long as you believe in yourself, you have confidence in yourself, and you instill that within your team, we all know that anything is achievable.
In playoffs, it's a whole other season. And teams throwing all different adjustments because you're playing the same team over and over and over. So it's like a game of chess. So the key is just to make sure that we're focused on our game plan, what we need to do to execute our game plan, and make the necessary adjustments throughout the game and throughout the series.
You got to have belief that you're going to go in there and find a way to win, and it doesn't matter whether it's round 1, 2, or 3. You've got Idaho, you've got Indy, Cincy, Toledo. Like I said, you got 4 of the top 5 teams. 4 of the top 5 teams in the Western Conference are all in one division. So no matter who it is, I'd like to believe that we're battle tested. So as long as our will to win is right there and our guys are ready to go, anything is possible come playoff time.
And again, you're going to playoffs. You want pretty much a lot of things to be on autopilot by that time. You want that to happen so that the guys can go out there and seamless transition into the playoffs and continue in the same path that they were in the regular season. So the minute you try to make too much adjustments, the minute that can create confusion.
As far as playoffs, I mean, this is where you pull up your socks, but at the same time, this is the most fun you have. It's the most stressful time, but these are the stories, this is the time that you play for. So a lot of the bumps and bruises, a lot of emotions, a lot of highs and lows, but it's all worth it at the end of the day when you have a chance to play for the Kelly Cup.
Number 2 seeded Toledo won 5 of its 6 games against Indy this season, but it's reasonable to expect a much closer playoff series between these two. Walleye head coach Dan Watson does.
I think Indy does have some experience with probably the youthful group there. Indy can certainly put pucks in the net. Again, I think our division's tough, regardless of the point standings, regardless of where people sit right now. Once you're in, it's anyone's game, to be honest with you. And, everyone's a tough opponent, whether it's on the road or at home. Everyone knows each other extremely well in terms of their ins, outs, their positives, their negatives, how they can win. So it's going to be a dogfight.
The division's so good, I don't think there's anything that really sticks out for any team. I think it's just about who shows up at 100% that night, right? And it's more about who's executing and who's making the plays that they have to at those certain times, maybe capitalizing on mistakes or has the energy that night. That's basically the way it's been. I mean, I know we've played Toledo here the last 2 or 3 games have been really tight.
I mean, it's always getting out of our division's always a bear. And so I think every year is different, like we talked about and like you mentioned. So it'll be interesting to see how this first round goes, moving into that second round to see which 2 teams match up and in conference finals and finals. A lot of close teams, a lot of good teams, a lot of teams that can win on any given night.
There's well-coached teams in the division, obviously, and in the whole league, but our division seems to be one that's tight the whole way, and the games are playing out that way. So we know that we need to be ready. We try our best as a coaching staff to prepare the guys and make sure that they know what's going on from what the other team's perspective is doing and what we want to do. But I think it's more important that we focus on ourselves and make sure we're ready to go when the puck drops and we're able to execute and do the things that make us successful.
Join us here next time for another ECHL Week Presents when we'll have our 2023 Kelly Cup Playoffs preview.